All right, we are on. Welcome
Yeah.
everyone to Horsemen of the Apocalypse, also known as HotA. Still in our soft launch phase, so we're still testing some things out. But this week we do have some mini games available in the Twitch chat, so feel free to jump in those. If you scroll down to the bottom of the Twitch screen, it'll show you what the commands are that you can type in and how to spend the points. Let's go ahead and do a quick introduction for everybody. My name is Sean Steele. I'm the DM for tonight. I go by SteelX. And we have 4 players and then 2 of our game developers who are going to be guest players as well. So everyone go ahead and take it away.
All right.
My name is Ryan. I'll go.
You go. Yeah, you go. That's fine. Yeah,
I'll go. You, me, you.
Yeah, fuck you, Finley. Yeah.
My name is Ryan. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I will be playing the half Tabaxi, half dwarf, strong braid, broken paw.
Okay.
All right. My name's Coyle. That's weird to say it like that. My name's Kyle. I'm over here in York, PA. I will be playing everyone's favorite halfling bard, Fiddly Shenanigans. Welcome.
Okay.
My name is Andrew. I live in California, and I will be playing the elf wizard known as Rin.
My name is Dylan. I'm from Montana, and I'm playing the human fighter Kurtz Glaskin.
Okay. And Devs?
Ladies first.
Okay. My name's Kayla. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I was in charge of developing the world divinity lore of this world.
And you're currently playing an NPC named...
Yes, and I'm currently playing NPC, a little gnomish
Traitor.
female. She... One day. You won't know. One day you'll respect me. No, her name is Lila Crack, and that is who I am playing for the time being. Brian.
And last but not least, my name is Brian. I am the developer for the Bane, and today I am playing as one of the NPCs, Devis Longhorn, a halfling cleric, helping the party out with some adventures, and has a little quest of his own.
Okay. Alrighty, and we are picking up from where we left off last week, and let's let Ryan do our episode recap of last game.
Last week on Horsemen, our adventurers chose the path of least resistance. They headed west out of Brandalac at the direction of Marcus, the captain of the town's guard. On the journey, Finley patched together some makeshift bandit attire to enhance our shenanigans and help us blend in with the green Bandit Clan. While diligent halfling hands wove our disguises, we came across a black birch tree that produced sap typically used in the brewing process of strong ales, and in its concentrated form could knock even the stoutest of dwarves onto their dwarven butts. We collected a vial of sap, and under the light of the 3 moons, nearing their yearly alignment, Marcus pointed out some tracks near the stream. Strongbraid picked up the scent of recent travelers, and it was quite clear that this hidden path was well traveled. Finley and Lilash scouted ahead while we discussed our plan and realized we didn't have enough costumes for us all to participate in our ruse. So we chained the negligent at best captain of the guard to a nearby tree. Strongbraid volunteered as tribute to be presented as a prisoner in hopes of making our infiltration into the BCFL a little more convincing.
Bandit Clan for life.
Into the belly of the bandits we leapt with some of the most convincing bandit accents I've personally ever heard in my life. Quickly indoctrinated themselves among the bandits. The dinner bell was rung and dinner was served. With the help of that classic Rin magic, the concentrated vial of sap was slipped into the bandit stew, and within the hour, the BCFL found themselves bunked up in dreamland, and we had the run of the caves. With the combination of conjuration and a little good old-fashioned elbow grease, we lifted 2 large heavy chests inlaid with gold and glowing red rubies out of the bandit caves without bloodshed. Well, minimal bloodshed. Returning to Marcus, squealing like a piggy at his tree, we remain unconvinced that he was not involved with these bandits, Kaine, or the Cult of Chaos, and finger by finger we attempted to pry as much information from him as we could. Unsatisfied with the results, we left him 6 feet deep, right after Kurtz Glatskin left Marcus with its own personal trademark signature, an axe to the skull. Putting our heads together in the wee hours of the morning with combination of magic and might, we shattered the gem chests at the protest of Kurtz and revealed 4 heavy urns adorned with beautiful koi that began to glow to our touch. Will the magical urns explode and create some sort of Big Bang type situation where we surely decide to rub them together? Will we finally find Kaine and serve that red turkey some cold justice? Will we heal Drandulin and finally be able to head back to Candoria and return the fleece to the Shroud? Well, how about you find out now on this week's edition of HotA.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a good one. I liked it. So,
Thanks, Ryan.
you
What's
guys
up, man?
open the chests and revealed the 4 urns with the koi. And what happened there at the very end with the 4th one?
Yeah, guys, what happened there at the very end of the fourth one?
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course you don't. I think there was a command given.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part. Yeah, we had picked up 3 of the urns, and we needed somebody to get the 4th so we could get on our way. And at the casual suggestion of Rin, I attempted to command Kurtz to pick up the last urn, but sort of forgot that doesn't last very long. I'd had to use it once on him before in a more violent situation, but Kurtz didn't take too kindly to that, and that is where we left off.
So he was commanded to pick up the last urn, and what happened when each of you had success? Well, that's not the right word. When you guys had picked them up one by one, what had happened to the urns?
The koi on the urns began to glow, their bellies, or the fish, the whole fish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, the belly portion of the etching of the yeah. So Kurtz was commanded to pick up the 4th one, and he did. And so now all 4 of the urns are glowing, and that's where we left off. So that's where we'll pick it right up. And so what do you guys want to do?
So we'll just rehash what happened last time, because that's not quite all of it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So once Kurtz snaps out of the command, sees he's holding the urn, he will attempt to smash the urn on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it bounced.
Yeah,
It bounced.
Yeah, nothing broke. Yeah.
And then there were some checks, I believe, some sleight of hands from our resident wizard.
Yes,
You were trying to determine whether or not I was the one who told him to say command, and you.
Yeah, and it seems that I did find out that you were the one who told him to do that. And if I remember correctly, I drew my sword and began advancing on you, like the certain doom that I am in this party.
So as you advance forward to me, though, immediately Ren will just start to put in front of his hand a large casting, and you'll see a massive ball of fire just suddenly appearing right there as he creates it and holds it in front of you and goes, "Stay your blade! Hold. Think clearly, Kurtz. This is magic. This is my field. I know what I'm doing when I had you pick this up. Believe in me when I tell you this was necessary."
Kurtz will turn to the other 2, Lilash and Devish, like, "And you didn't have 2 other people around us who could have carried one. I have had everything taken from me in this life, wizard. I will not have my free will taken from me from the lying tongue of a wizard like you." And I will continue to advance.
I'll just kind of put the ball forward. "It's not about free will, it's about who I trust more. I have heard of your name. I know your reputation. I know who you are. From those who speak of you, they speak of a man who thinks of nothing but good, moral intentions, who finds those who are innocent and seeks to help them. I believe you are a good soul. And despite the actions you have done, I still have a sliver of trust in you. I know you more than I know this Lilash, and I know you more than I know Davis. And I believe you have a stronger will to be able to hold this. This is a power that you must be able to wield and hold on your own. It is not nefarious, it is essential. And one of us had to have it. If we didn't, we would have had much more dire consequences. I trusted you to be responsible for this."
I turn to Lilash. "This woman deals in dark artifacts. How do you not know you've just bestowed a curse on all of us?"
"Did you not know where I was when you first met me? Did you not see what I was studying? I was examining this core. I have studied. I have learned as much as I can about their arcane abilities. This is a relic regarding them. I know this. I identified the Urn. believe me, this is not a nefarious object, but if it was not kept safe and attuned to those who have moral judgment, then the consequences would be dire. I believe your moral character is sound, just as I believe in Strongbraid and Finley. I know you have no harboring of ill or evil intent.
I'll continue to advance until I'm about 10 feet away, and then I'll pass my sword through the flame so that the tip is a few inches from him, and just say, "Do that again, wizard, and I'll cut that lying tongue from your throat."
And I'm like standing between them underneath, 3 feet underneath the sword, and I'll just I'll just say, it might have been Rin's suggestion, but I followed through with the action. If you have a quarrel, then it's with me, Kurtz.
Who do you blame when someone is murdered? The sword or the hand that wields it?
I would blame the hand that wields it.
And there we go. I'll just put the sword back over my shoulder and walk away. I'm not carrying that thing. Someone else do it.
I don't see you as a sword, Strongbraid. I see you as an individual. You had your own choice in this, and I believe you did right.
I appreciate that, Rin. Will it be dangerous for me to lift the other urn?
No.
Then I'll pick it up and I'll put it under my other arm.
Okay, so Strongbraid is currently carrying 2 urns. Where are the other 2 urns?
I think Rin has one and Finley has one, right?
I think I have one. And while they're having this conversation, I'm kind of like looking over my shoulder, and I'm trying to pry one of the rubies off of the chest with like my little dagger.
I think they shattered.
If no one else wants,
installed.
Yeah, they stopped glowing. Yeah.
Still rubies.
Yeah. Okay.
just trying to pry some off. While I'm like, I mean, if no one else is gonna fucking take one, I mean, I'm gonna take one.
Yeah, you can go ahead and try. What would be the best check for that?
Be like a dex check or sleight of hand check.
Yeah, let's do a sleight of hand. Yeah.
Even thieves' tools.
And I'm sure you roll a 1, which you'll get to re-roll because you're Finley.
None of us have thieves' tools. We're
Yeah,
not a
that's
kind of
right.
group.
Yeah,
24. Yeah.
None of us have thieves' tools.
So you dig your little tool in there and you're prying at it, and without that much force, you're actually able to pop one of them off.
Okay.
Does it explode?
No, it doesn't.
One chest ruby. Okay. That's all I'm doing. They're like doing this thing, and I'm just like, just trying to get a ruby off here.
Were you trying to do it without anyone notice?
Well, nobody noticed.
I mean, you rolled a 24 on sleight of hand, so we could combo the
I want a
action.
pretty big one. Just want a pretty big one. That's all.
I mean, honestly, who gives a shit?
It's probably about the size of like a 50-cent piece. Remember those old things?
I have one around here somewhere.
So in my
I
halfling
have something that's almost
size of an apple.
Oh yeah. We have a whole
Yeah,
bunch of those.
it's about this big.
There, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So what is that halfling hand? Is that like a frisbee? Is that like a small plate? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and tuck that away.
Yeah, there you
go. Start strolling back to the group after they're all done.
Being edgy.
Rin,
Yep.
you know so much about these. What should we do with them?
Currently, as we now have them held, I believe that they're attuned to each of us. As long as they remain attached to our beings, this should inhibit the mayor from being able to act, which does, of course, lead it to being in a sense where he might want to kill us. Though I don't think we wanted to give these to him in the first place either.
I'm sorry. I thought that was the plan, to give it to him, bring Brindle back.
To present them perhaps as a way to get in the door, and then try and see if we can get away with both.
I mean, forgive me, Lilash. Didn't you say that he had a sizable guard who was worth at least 10 of all of us?
Did, but the drop-off point is not at his house.
Uh,
Further in the woods.
I understand. However, we leave these empty chests at the drop-off point. What's to stop him from now killing your husband and sending that army after us to kill us?
Well,
I think there's a better chance my husband will stay alive if we don't try to fool him.
I mean, not to beat a dead Grindelin, but I would kill your husband and kill the rest of us for going against your wishes.
Yes, you've made it very clear how you feel about the people I care about, Kurtz. But I do care about them.
The worst case scenario is we can give these urns to him. He won't necessarily know that they have and haven't been activated or deactivated. He just knows that they're magical. He has not yet understood the properties of these yet.
Wizard, they're glowing.
They're glowing, and that just proves that they're magical. He does not know their properties. By seeing them glowing or not glowing, he won't know whether or not they've been tampered with. He's never seen these before.
Is there really a drop-off point anymore? I mean, aren't we just supposed to just deliver these chests to him at this point? I mean, I have a bit of a plan. Perhaps we could maybe be able to finagle our way and maybe get a little bit more out of this than what we originally intended. I mean, at the end of the day, if we have to give him over the booty, that's what we came here to do, and we could figure out the rest as we go. But I mean, I kind of look around. We're not really getting anything else done standing here, arguing about it. So I suggest we perhaps move on. And I'm like holding this big fucking urn, I guess, and like bigger than me. Is right? It's like a pretty decent sized urn, right?
To a normal human-sized person, it'd probably be about that big.
Yeah.
Are there urns what were heavy in the chests, or are the chests still heavy themselves?
The majority of the weight was the chests.
I say we leave these for the Bandit Clan.
What, the chest?
Or the urns?
Not the urns, no. We've gone through all this trouble to get them. Let's just leave the chests. Hopefully they won't follow us, because now they have something to deal with.
True enough.
You could try closing them up to where it would take them time to,
Lilash, you're sure you have no idea where Kaine lives?
Promise I don't.
Perhaps if he's going to expect you to drop this off at the drop point, he'll probably bring your husband there as well. An exchange, in a sense.
He might.
Even if he doesn't, we can just head to the drop point and wait for the contact and then tell him that the rules have changed.
Well, it's not a contact that I have. The protocol is that I leave the whatever I'm delivering there, and then I leave before they come and get.
Well, we can go leave the urns where you're supposed to leave them, and then we can hang around to see who shows up.
True. Could use it as a trap to lure them in, and we might be able to get some information. Though I prefer Kurtz, no offense, perhaps maybe a persuasion and guile might be more in our favor than the sword and the threat of death.
Or just try and follow whoever picks them up back to its source.
I am worried that if we try to be sneaky or clever about it, he will kill my husband.
She's right. Though you all may not agree with my methods, they are straightforward. And I believe that straightforward is what we need to do now. Confidence is our best ally. We need to show that we are not afraid of this man, and that we have something he wants, he has something we want. Perhaps he will respect that, perhaps he won't. Either way, we don't really have many choices.
Let's go to the drop point and then demand a trade then.
So the drop point then.
There won't be anyone to demand a trade with. I'm to leave the items and then leave the area. I never see the people come and pick it up.
Well, someone's got to come and get them eventually.
And this is a different circumstance, Lilash. I'm sure that they would understand a bit more of a deviation from the norm.
If they want them badly enough, they'll show themselves.
Deviation will get him killed.
I'm honestly, again, no offense, Lash, I will be shocked if he is alive. After everything we've done and after everything that's happened, I will be shocked if he is still alive. And this is not just some way for him to get what he wants and then dispose of you as an asset.
That may
If
be,
he's still
but
alive, I will do whatever I can to keep him alive.
as will I.
Well, there's only one way to find out. I'm ready for this party shindig to start. Let's go to this drop-off and see what happens. I think intrigue is leading me on at this point, and I kind of
take us there.
clap my hands together.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll just say, on our way to the drop point, I'll pick up Finley and his urn and put them both on my shoulders because he's small. Urn is
This
large.
is certainly the way to travel. I don't know why I walk anywhere. To be quite honest, this is the great. Thank you, Kurtz. You can see so much more from up here.
We should build him a little Finley saddle.
He's got like one of those baby Bjorns where he sits and he can just shoot spells out at people.
Or like the one in the back, like I can stand on it, but like keep my hands on your shoulders. We just go.
Look a little crow's
Oh yeah,
nest.
like a little wooden. I could conjure that for you if you wanted it. I could literally conjure that wooden.
Will be known across the land as Master and Blaster.
It is really hard to sit here with this like sword handle, like kind of jabbing up my ass though. It's like I gotta like shimmy, you gotta shimmy a little bit with this big spike.
Let's be honest, my friend. You've done stranger things.
You're not no touche there, Kurt's blasted touche, sir. But it's actually kind of a nice little backrest. I kind of like lean up against it. Let's not talk about what goes in and out of. We'll talk. Maybe another time we'll talk about some. Okay, here we go. And
The sword's been in and out of many things.
Blood was
I'm sure.
involved. Yeah. All right, so
They approve of this.
Vilas, you know that the drop point is the standard drop point that's usually used is kind of a field clearing, and in the center of it is a pretty big section of sand, and that's usually where you set your whatever stuff you're smuggling around. You'll set it there, about 300 feet from that center point all the way around is really thick woods through it. So your standard procedures would be to go in there, you would drop the stuff on the sand clearing, and then you would get out. And from previous drops, like you staying around or trying to watch for anybody, nobody would come get it until they knew that nobody was watching.
I will relay that information to the party.
We have a few of Kaine's feathers, don't we?
We do.
Maybe if he's ever been to the pickup site, I could pick up his scent and we could follow that to his home.
I don't think Kaine is usually the one that receives the shipments.
But he
He's
may
just-
have been there before, if he's in charge of all this.
It's possible. It's always worth a chance, but if you
All
choose
right.
to follow him, I would much rather you do that after
Holy shit!
Brandon's safe.
Finley
Just trying-
Shenanigans has a plan. Are you ready for this? This is gonna blow your fucking minds. Are you ready?
I'm just
All
trying
right.
to do anything I can to help Drandalin.
I'm wearing 2 pairs of underwear so I can shit your pants.
I'm gonna take out some parchment and a quill, and I'm gonna write on it in Kaine's handwriting. Wait for Lilash and her followers and bring them to me. I'm gonna roll it up on a parchment with one of the red feathers, and because I have forgery kit and all that kind of fun stuff.
Okay.
And I studied Kaine's little letter that he left for us on his desk.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say to the group, you know, if we just leave this at the drop-off point and that poor soul comes to pick it up, we could always just stroll out, and he has instructions from his master to escort us to him. So, I mean, it could work, could not. I could write something else if you want me to, but this is what I write, and I read it out loud.
And what is it that you wrote?
Like, wad in there.
He's attempting to make a forgery.
Yeah,
Whereas
but what was
mayor
the
had
exact
told
words?
us that we were supposed to follow the goods to the return, right, Finley?
Right. So we could either leave it with the booty, or we could just stand there and wait for him to show up and present the parchment to him and say we're supposed to follow with him. Or there's lots of different ins and outs of it, but I'm pretty sure this is a balls plan, man. Like this just struck my brain, but it sounds like might have an in. If that's what the kids say, right? You have an in.
I like it.
Possibly, yes. If you'd like, I can use Orion to keep an eye on the clearing. If we need to be away at a certain distance for it to be foolish enough for them to think we're not here anymore.
It does sound like a very clever plan, Finley, but that's what I'm afraid of. Being clever and being caught being clever. Because eventually it's going to come out that that's not what Kaine intended. And if Drandalin is not safe at that point, his life is over for sure. And all of this has been for nothing.
sometimes you got to be a little bit more clever than the person you're dealing with if you want to get what you want, darling. And at this point, no offense or nothing, but he's kind of got you by the balls. And I know you're a woman, so that's kind of weird to say, but I mean, let's face it, she's got your husband, and he's kind of been a step or two ahead of you at one point or another. I mean, why don't we try to get a step ahead of ourselves of him for once, and maybe take him to the punch? That's another thing the kids say, right? Is it? I feel like I'm off on my up-to-date lingo of what's happening.
I don't know. I think I'm with Lilash on this. I mean, to try to play these games, this is obviously not a.
I love games. They're my favorite.
Yeah, but this man we're dealing with, Kaine, he does not seem to be the honorable type, and so if he were to discover your plan, who knows what sort of heinous thing he would do. I mean, he kidnapped a sickly man out of spite. This is.
Yeah, the rocks on that guy capturing a sickly man. Yeah, he's super terrifying. Listen, we're just losing daylight here talking about it. I mean, we could just go drop the stuff off and cross our fingers that your husband's alive. Which, by the way, I think we all know what side of the fence I'm on with that. But regardless of that, at least it's a plan. I'm just saying.
It is. I still feel it's slightly foolish to basically give away your hand at that point. If there's no exchange and there's no reason for us to know if your husband is still alive, you say, put down the urns, and how do you know? What's the guarantee that you'll get your husband back? If we just throw them away, he can just slay him and then he'd be done with you. He has no reason to honor his agreement. If we had a way to at least offer an exchange face to face, then I think that would be reasonable.
Lilash, in your dealings with Kaine in the past, obviously he goes to extreme measures when he feels like he's not being obeyed, which he felt you disobey. That's why this punishment is there. But does he normally follow up on his work? I mean, do you think his intentions are to kill your husband just to mess with you, or is it that he just wants the shipment?
He just wants the shipment, honestly. So, in response to Ren, I'll say Kaine just wants to be respected. That's all.